What's up, my fellow gamers? It's Saltiest Gaming, and we're back with another podcast, TSP episode 16. What's up, everybody?
Yo,
How's it going?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
So, what's everybody up to? I mean, how's everybody's Sunday night?
Laid back, brother.
Jago been kicked back.
Pretty chill.
Oh yeah, all weekend. About to sleep right now.
You know, Jago.
Jago, I heard your knee. You had some issues with your knee, buddy. Thanks for coming on anyway and trooping through. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Anytime. Like I told you a while ago, so unless my leg falls off, I'll be here.
Good, buddy. I'm grateful for that. And Nick, what have you been up to, my friend?
Man, I'm just tired. I've had a long day today, but I had a good week, man. I mean, I'm the Game Awards happened, and it was a lot of fun gaming news wise. So just trying to keep up with that, read and all that, and so I had a good week. Not so good day today because I had to wake up early, and so now it's just been fumes. So I'm drinking my Monster, trying to hang in here.
Good to hear.
Good shit.
If you guys didn't know that me and Fonz recorded another episode of Loot Chest Radio, so that's a shameless plug there. You guys should go check it out. We put the links on Twitter. It was an awesome episode. We got some good cuts, and it's a pre-recorded episode. That's what makes it different from these live, chats. So definitely go check that out.
Is it uploaded to YouTube yet? Because I actually looked like this morning and I didn't see another one.
It's up there now.
I think I found
this
it
afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah.
So gotta hit that little bell icon, man.
Yeah, I know.
I'm also I'm using our Loot Chest Radio YouTube handle here in the chat because I'm just promoting it because I wanted to get out there. But thanks for that plug. We're having a good time with that, guys. So if you like what you hear there, definitely subscribe to this channel though, because this is where it's at right now. Sunday nights we go to Saltiest Gaming Podcast, so gotta listen to Salty.
Yep,
it's true.
Yep.
And we're doing a giveaway. If you guys haven't heard, on Twitter, I'm giving away 2 Xbox One X pins. They're limited edition, so stay tuned for that. We're gonna be giving those away towards the end of the episode. Jago knows all about those pins.
Oh yeah,
he won one.
Yeah, the pin's pretty cool, dude.
Hey, don't worry about the giveaway. Just send one to your homeboy over here. You know what I'm saying? Send them my way.
That's funny. So welcome everybody that's started with us. So let's get into it. Xbox loses MPDs for November. It was a close one. It looks like these are leaks, by the way, so it's not official, but I'm gonna get them out there so we could discuss it. 1.5 million sold for the PlayStation, 1.4 million for the Xbox, and only 80K for the Nintendo.
80K. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, this is surprising to me. I mean, the first thing that stands out to me is the 80K number for Nintendo. I mean, it seems pretty low for Nintendo because, the way that they've been, advertising and promoting, it just felt like they're in the millions to me. How do you guys feel about this situation?
I
Just
mean,
weird.
Yeah, like Jago said, it's weird to me. I was also reading combined. They said it with the 3DS and the Super NES Classic all combined, it was like 1.2 million. But either way, we don't really care about the 3DS or the Super NES Classic. We only care about the Switch. And the Switch only did 80K. So that is kind of surprising, especially because November we had Black Friday and all these reports saying it was the #1 selling item online, the #1 games on Amazon, blah, blah, blah. All these reports coming out. And then so we're thinking millions, and then 80K, so it was kind of like, well, it kind of threw me off. And I was actually
misleading.
And I was actually looking forward to seeing the numbers that how Nintendo would stack up. But the whole Xbox and Sony, I mean, 1.5 and then 1.4 mil, like that's not really that much of a difference, you know what I mean? So there's not really too much of a I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but there's not too much, difference there. And good on Xbox, because I think I looked up the numbers last year, and Xbox they were further behind last year than they were this year, so they're gaining ground. So that's good for Xbox.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody forgot a zero on that Nintendo figure because 80K, not even breaking 100,000 for a Switch during the busy month of November. Good Lord, it was weird to me, man.
Maybe they just they were too busy selling throughout the year. Maybe everybody just had I don't who knows, but it is weird. But what I was saying is I really want to see what the Xbox One X numbers were because we got units from like Xbox Ones and it's all combined. But I really want to see what those X numbers are.
Yeah, between the S and the X, that would be good.
Yeah, I don't know the way that Xbox treats their sales numbers. I don't know if we'll get that division, and it's tough. But there's the naysayers out there already with the mid-gen refreshes. There's a lot of people out there that are against this idea and are kind of anti mid-gen refresh. They would point to these sales numbers and they'd say, well, the Xbox can't, the Xbox One X combined with the S. It can't even win MPD in November. Well, it's a failure. What would you guys say to those naysayers out there in regards to this situation? Fonz, what would you say?
Honestly, I don't know what I would say, but speaking on the numbers and the sales there, I think the fact that they didn't have a Black Friday sale was big. I think when people are shopping around this time of year, they're all looking for sales, and even though it's sold well considering, it's still people want those sales. That's the bottom line.
That's true. That much is true. Well, neither one of the companies had sales, really. I mean, they had sales on the Xbox One S's and then the PlayStation 4, but there wasn't any like bundles on the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X. So I think you're right. I think people were looking, especially me. I was actually looking for a bundle. If I could have found a bundle, I probably would have, forced myself to work more overtime at work, and then I would have just gotten next, right then and there, this month, or last month, but I didn't, because of the fact that there wasn't any sort of bundle or any sale. So, I mean, that's actually a great point because that actually did like drive my decision to hold off on an X was because there wasn't sales.
Yep.
And when it comes to the naysayers, Salty, I think it's just people that there are people that want attention, man. Some, get their voice out there and just, promote their preferred brand. And you just can't listen to those stupid people, man.
What are the naysayers? What are they saying about mid-gen refreshes? Are they saying it's not a good idea? It's not good for gaming? Like what are they specifically saying about, mid-gen refreshes? What's so bad about them?
A lot of people just don't like the idea of having to upgrade so fast into the generation.
I will say this about mid-gen upgrades. I don't think they're going to make another one on either side. I used to think that, and this is just about a month ago, I was thinking that, the Xbox division would make, when they come out with the Xbox 2 or whatever it is, they might do another refresh or whatever. But I think that they're just going to continue with refinements like the S or, the PlayStation Slim and things like that. Because honestly, I think they're a lot of people are sort of regretting the fact that there's mid-gen consoles because of parity and things like that and people complaining. I mean, there's way too many complainers out there on either side, really. I mean, they take it to extremes with the whole PUBG fiasco and the 60 versus 30. I mean, I think it's a shame to have parity there with these two consoles, one being much more powerful. I think they should just have it at 60. But again, I think that the people that are arguing for that, some of them are taking it way to extremes and they're just like being babies about it, like crying about it and shit. And like, for me personally, I thought they would just keep it parity anyway on these multiplayer games. I thought that's what they would do anyway, to be honest. I don't like it. I wish they would put the 60 there, but you won't hear me crying about it.
I have to let me piggyback off of something you said. You were talking about how you thought that this would be the only mid-gen refresh that these two companies would do, and I have to agree on that. And I only have to agree with that just because remember at the beginning, whenever the Xbox One first came out and the PS4, both of them first came out, what was the main thing that people said? These consoles are extremely underpowered for when they came out, both of them. And so I think for that to that fact, I think that they both companies felt a mid-gen refresh was due to sort of make up for that fact.
And, you know, we got to be honest too. The PS4 Pro was made for the VR. The VR, just the base model PS4 wasn't strong enough. But I think they're going to get it right with the PS5. It's going to be a very powerful beast. And then when the Xbox 2 comes out, they're going to trump the PS5. It's just going to continue that cycle. But I don't think these mid-gen refreshes are going to happen again. And I say, good riddance, because we should have got these consoles to begin with.
Well, I was going to say that too. Well, the people that are bitching about the mid-gen consoles are people that can't afford them. You know, bought the Xbox One pretty much. And two, like Nick said, I was going to say this before he did. I feel like Microsoft and Sony they felt like they had to, because when this generation started, they came out the gate way behind already. So I think that's why. I don't think we'll see another mid-gen refresh. I think Sony will come out the gate with a 8, possibly 10 teraflop monster if they can swing that for a good price, and Microsoft's not going to lose the edge that they got right now. So I think they're done as well.
PSN down. If you really believe that, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, bro. But it was not there to compete with it. They said that. Andrew House said that, yes, but come on, we know why it was there.
Google it. Google me.
No, I know what he said. I watched the whole presentation. I watched when they unveiled the thing. That's what they said. They said they were there to compete with PC and everything. But Mark Cerny and Andrew House know full well that they were coming out with this thing because the VR unit just looks like dog shit on the base model.
It's true. I mean, Jago, you've been talking about the VR, right? PSVR. You have one.
Yep.
You said it runs okay with the vanilla, right?
Yeah, I got the vanilla. I didn't feel the PS4 Pro was worth spending my money on. I'll just be honest, put it to you like that. And I got the PSVR, and it looks amazing on the OG PS4. I mean, I'm gonna tell you that. You play Resident Evil on the OG PS4, it don't look like you're playing Minecraft, and by no stretch of the imagination. It looks damn good, dude. I'm gonna tell you. Every game I've tried in VR looks damn good. So I have no qualms with my OG PS4 and my PSVR.
So here's my take on the mid-gen refresh situation. I think that a lot of people try to compare the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X. And I think Phil Spencer said it correctly. They're not really comparable, honestly. The PlayStation 4 Pro was made for the PSVR. They haven't come out and specifically said that, but we all know that that's the reality. The Xbox One X, on the other hand, was made specifically because Microsoft made a mistake.
Yeah.
Big one.
In the beginning of the generation, and they wanted to rectify that.
Yep.
So that, by definition, is a mid-gen refresh. They're hitting the refresh button because they screwed up.
I hate to say this and say it this way because it makes me sound like such a pony, but I have to say it. The X makes the Xbox One S and the base model X one just seems so garbage. It really does.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they do. It does.
I can't go back to that.
So we all know what the reality of things are, and bravo to Microsoft for fixing what was wrong. Because in reality, if they would have left it to a full generation life cycle, we would have been stuck with the S for how long, right? 7 years or something like that. And that's just plain and simple. It's not acceptable.
Yep.
They couldn't have let that happen, so they're rectifying their problems. But this doesn't mean that this is going to be the status quo going forward. It means that this is just kind of a one-off thing, and I honestly don't expect it to happen again in the future.
Yeah, I have to agree. I just think that in the beginning, we go back to 2013. I think Microsoft and that, they were just the heads of Xbox were just kind of full of themselves. I think they were sipping that Kool-Aid from the success of the 360. And they thought anything that we can do, anything we do will be good. Anything that we do will sell, and we will, pretty much have the Midas touch. And I think that after they experienced, what they experienced with the One, and then they had, turnover in leadership, the leadership was too busy trying to clean up that mess, and that's where we got the X.
You know they knew they fucked up when they dropped the Kinect like a bad habit about 2 months after the release.
No, they know they messed up whenever they talked about having DRM, and then all of a sudden
that immediately. Yep. And then charge everybody $500 for it.
Right.
And pushing TV. Come on.
So I guess we beat that dead horse into the ground, but let's move on to one of the I would say the most anticipated game releases probably a couple years for Xbox. Unfortunately, it's not a first party title. It's PUBG. I'm sure you guys have never heard of this.
Never.
I'm sure no one has spoke to you about it. So this is new breaking news to you guys that it's coming out this week.
Yep.
If you didn't know, it has a price tag of $29.99. And I'm super hyped about it. I'm going to be picking it up day one. I'm kind of skeptical about if the servers are going to be able to handle the amount of traffic that's going to be on them. I know there's rumors out there that they're going to be Azure servers, brought to you in part by Microsoft.
Of course.
But I still think they're going to have server issues day one. But I want to talk about Aaron Greenberg's comments because there's the parity situation going around with the whole frame rate thing. And he sent a tweet out that basically said, hey, we're still leaving it up to the developers. Bluehole, it's up to them. And I'm glad he came out with the tweet because it kind of, I don't know, it kind of made me feel better. But you guys got to realize that this game is in game preview.
Yep.
And it's not a full release. It's easy to forget that because it's like the Game Awards, it was, up for Game of the Year and stuff like that, but it is under development. So I still think that there's a chance that it could hit that 60 frames, but we shall see. Are you guys going to be getting this game? Are you guys excited?
No. Absolutely. Oh, man.
I'm excited. Yep. Go ahead, Punk.
Oh, man. Well, first of all, yeah, the whole parity thing, we all know that's terrible, especially for the ex-owners, because, we did put up that so-called premium price to play these games. I am a firm believer that they did not market it as a 60 frame per second machine. That's just kind of a perk that we get. Obviously, in the future, I can't wait for us to all be playing that, and we can just leave that conversation behind,
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of us want. But yeah, I'll be picking it up day one. Very excited. Like I said, we'll see how the servers hold up, and that's all I got to say about it, man. Let's see what y'all got.
Nice. So you're gonna be picking it up. That's cool. So I think we
hopefully playing with you, bro.
2 yays and 2 nays, right? Is that what I heard?
I ain't picking it up.
Jago, why aren't you gonna be picking this game up, bro? Are you hating on it or what?
I got Fortnite, bro. It's the same damn thing.
Wow.
It is.
Well,
PUBG did it first. PUBG did it first.
All that.
I know I'm gonna get hate for that, man, but it is. Everybody jumps off this flying bus in Fortnite. It's the same thing, one map. Now they got if you watch the Game Awards, they got a 50 versus 50 mode. Man,
yeah, I don't know, man. I played Fortnite and it was laggy and the hit detection was garbage. It might have been because I was, gaming on an old Xbox, but man,
I've never had a problem with it. The hit detection, it wasn't laggy for me. I mean, other than the art style, I think that's why a lot of people hate on it. Is because of the art style.
I don't like the building.
You see Predator's comment?
Yeah, dude.
Pred's
dropping a bomb in the chat.
Well, we're about to be interviewing a man from Epic Games next week, so I'm just going to keep quiet on Fortnite.
You're like, no comment.
As far as this game though, PUBG, somebody in the community kindly picked it up for me, so I will be playing it day one. I'm excited for that. Here's the thing though, like I said earlier, I thought it was going to be 30 frames anyway, so it really doesn't bother me at all with this 60 versus 30 thing. I mean, I'm looking forward to the game. I think the servers, of course, are going to have an issue with it because most games that come out that are multiplayer like this, that are big, they usually have issues day one, but they usually get smoothed out pretty quick, within a few days or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be quickly overcome with all the BS and stuff. We'll have some good servers and everything. I'm sure it might take a couple of days, but it'll smooth out and we'll all have a blast and have fun with it. I think this is one of those games that we're going to have lots of fun together with company and friends. It's going to be a blast.
I mean, I'll take the game if somebody wants to game gift it to me, but I can't.
You're hating on it. Nobody's gifting.
We're on Fonz.
Yeah, Jago always asks for game gifts, bro. Yeah, you can give it to me, man. I'll play that. I'll play if you give it to me. But
I just can't afford it right now, man. I mean, I might pick it up later, but if I want to play that version, that game mode, I can play Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to playing it. I'm gonna pick it up. Because like Jago said, it's gonna be fun playing with your friends. I mean, and that's really what it comes down to is hopping in there with a group of friends, you know, and just messing around and trying to survive and be the last team standing. And I mean, I played Fortnite a few times, and at the beginning I was getting frustrated because we just kept dying immediately because we kept going to a certain place where other people were, and you know that. But it's still going to be fun, you know, once you get the hang of it and you know and you figure out where to go. And as far as the servers issues, I think there might be some in the beginning, like you know, like always, there's going to be a lot of traffic. This game is very hyped, and I really feel like a lot of people on Xbox are going to pick this up. I expect my friends list to be absolutely full of nothing but PUBG when this game comes out. Like my friends list is going to be PUBG. So. I think they'll fix it if they do have the issues. I don't think they could necessarily afford to leave the issues there for an extended amount of time. I think they'll have to fix it immediately. As far as the whole 30 frames per second go, I mean, it is a bummer that, you know, it's not going to hit 60 on the X. But as I think Fonz said, you know, last podcast, it has hard enough time hitting 60 frames on PC constantly. So, I mean, I feel like they probably just did that and they capped it at 30 just to, you know, keep things, you know, good to go until they figure out a way to optimize it or whatever and get us to 60 frames. So, I mean, like you said, it's a game preview. It's a work in progress still. Just be glad that we actually have it on the Xbox. That's the kind of way I look at it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we got a special guest from the VGA. Let's see here. Hold on.
I'm telling you, this is the real shit. What is interactive gaming? Look, I'm just saying this. Let me tell. Sorry, I'm taking. Let me just give me a minute. I want to take your time. Look. Okay, can you swear here? Can you swear? Okay. Fuck the Oscars, you know. Fuck the Oscars. Fuck you. I'll tell you. I'm just like bullshit. Look, here's the thing. The gaming industry.
So
that's a
good segue into the next topic. I don't know if you guys heard this guy, but he was lit during the VGA.
He looked lit.
He did.
So,
he did look lit.
He wasn't just lit. I mean, he looked like there was something in that drink, bro.
Yeah, dude was fresh off a plane from France, I think is where he was, and he's like,
it wasn't jet lag, bro.
He's like, I'm jet lagged. It's like, bro,
we already know, man. We already know.
I've been jet lagged before. I was like, dude, I don't think I felt like that. But man, that guy, the VGAs, I think this is the first time I actually sat through a whole, the whole time period. And I came away, away from the experience very impressed, honestly. It felt more along the lines of the Oscars, surprisingly, with the production. They had a full orchestra and the way it was presented. I came away impressed. What did you guys think of just the presentation aspect of the VGAs?
Oh, it was a good show. I mean, like you said, it did feel like the Oscars. I mean, I was impressed. I'm glad I watched it where I could fast forward it, though. I watched it a day later so I could skip what I didn't want to see. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good show.
Fonz, what'd you think of the presentation? Do you think they're on? What's up?
I think they did great, man. Well, a couple of them anyway. I like the fact that Joseph Ferris came out and said his thing. I like how a few of them bashed microtransactions. That was nice to see. Zachary Levi, the actor, he came out and presented the award for best action game, and he had to swipe his credit card on the little card to open it up. That was a great little bit that he did there. Perfect comedy timing and everything. My hat's off to some of these guys for waking up the show, because the show itself was boring, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was.
It's true.
But just a few of these guys that livened up the show really brought me back into it. And like I said, with Joseph Levi, it's got me interested in his game even more so. Not just that, what he did on stage. I was interested in the game already, but man, like after pulling all that, dude, I'm like, yeah, man, I would party with this guy for sure.
Wasn't that the guy that said he had to pay him, do a microtransaction to open up his a card winner or his card, whatever he had in his hand?
That was Zachary.
Yeah. That was funny.
Shout out to PSN down in the chat. He said the Asian chick playing the violin in black. Oh man, yeah, you're right.
Word.
Yeah, you guys. We know what you guys are watching during the VJs.
Hey, that orchestra was lit though, for real. I was actually really impressed because, like I said, I'm a big music geek, as you know, and so when I see stuff like that and I see a good music presentation, it sucks me in. And that orchestra was lit. The whole presentation, I watched it kind of on and off at work because I had to go away from my desk and come back every once in a while. But on the way home from work, I actually got to watch it the rest of the show. And I think I heard somewhere like, wasn't this award show like actually what like they had to get sponsors for, but didn't the guy who hosted didn't he put it on himself? Like he actually had to go out and do everything.
Jeff Keighley. Yeah, like it was all him.
Yeah, it was all. I mean, for that, it wasn't all on him, but good job on him putting together something that looked great, professional. I mean, that stuff isn't cheap. The cameras isn't cheap. That setting isn't cheap. Getting an orchestra like that's not cheap. And he put it all together, got sponsors for it, everything.
Too bad they won't have sponsors next year.
Too bad he was the one hosting, though. I don't think he was a great host.
I mean, I agree, but I mean, he's probably reached max budget. He's probably like, well, shit, I got to do it myself. But
and I think that's something that Nate touched on our podcast. But Nate, you didn't mention it here. Jeff Keighley's face as Joseph was talking, and
God, dude, yeah,
that was priceless. He was just like a deer in headlights. He's like, how can I get this guy to shut up?
well, that's why I said that they won't have sponsors next year, because his face was like, oh my God, we're shut down for next year. No sponsors.
Hey, speaking of sponsors, oh my God, there's so many ads during that conference, man. It was crazy. I mean, he was trying to make his money back for sure.
Hey, top budget, man. You got to do what you got to do, man. I mean, but like I said, but it was still a great show, regardless. I mean, the way it was put together, the setting, everything, it was a good show. So I mean,
hey guys, I got breaking news. Sorry, I got breaking news. Joseph Ferris was just hired to host the Oscars next year.
Yeah. Right.
That would make it lively.
If that was a real thing, that would be awesome, actually.
So I don't know. I came away impressed because I caught some of the VGAs in the past, and they kind of just seemed low budget. Like the awards at some point was like, it looked like a monkey was on there. It just didn't look professional. And I think the video game industry is trying to move, in competition with, cinema.
Well, they're trying to be taken seriously as a medium. They're trying to be taken seriously. And they are, because we're all growing up and we're all adults, and kids younger than us are paying attention, and it's a growing medium. So they have to.
Well, while that is true, while I agree with both of you, I still have to point out the fact that some of the awards are kind of dumb. Okay.
Yeah.
First and foremost, Cuphead won 2 awards that were essentially the same award: best indie title and best indie. What was it? Coming
Art
out
direction
or something? No, it was like coming out indie. Like
I have a list of all of them.
And I was
debut indie game.
Yes,
is what it was.
Debut indie. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, these only happen every year, and you can only get nominated for best debut that year, and you can only get nominated for best indie if you came out that year. So what is the fucking difference between debut indie and indie?
I thought one of them was best art direction. I was pretty sure, wasn't it?
They got art direction. They got 3 of them. They got 3 awards. Yeah. But it was just very weird, man. Like the same.
Award. I tend to agree, but they probably had to fill time and had to.
They just wanted to get more ads.
Right.
In, okay.
They needed to fill time. I mean, that's probably exactly what he said. They need to get more ads and fill more time. So, what awards can we add? To extend the show. But
I do agree. But that trophy. the little award that they're handing out looked pretty dope in itself. So I think it looked overall it was professionally, done. I feel like it's, they're just trying to compete, like I said, with these award shows that are handed out for TV and cinema. Because if you look at some of these numbers that these video games are doing, it's exceeding the numbers for some of these blockbuster movies. I said this during Chess Radio. Call of Duty was put out more money in the opening weekend than Thor Ragnarok and Wonder Woman combined. You know
what's sad too? You know what's sad? Microtransactions are a bigger business right now. I mean, if you just take into account the billions they've made in 1 year's time over some of these movies, I'm telling you, it's big business. The gaming industry is huge business, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And we're all gonna have to deal with all of this shit. I mean, it's crazy.
One of these days, the gaming industry will eclipse the entertainment industry.
It's getting close, man.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a question again on Loot Chest Radio. We just did this last night, so I'm plugging it, and then I'm kind of just referring to it as well. But the guy asked us, he's like, "Do you ever get embarrassed, or do you feel like you're too old to be gaming?" And I responded, no, because that's the way the direction's going. The people that started gaming whenever you did, you grew up with games in your life, and that's it's a different, entertainment medium, so it's taken over and it's becoming mainstream. So one of the things that stood out to me during the VGAs is they gave Forza 7 the best racer or whatever, like the title was. I'm trying to look it up. It's best sports racing game. Forza won that game, and it was kind of just like under Keely's breath. Oh, they won it. It was like the pre-show. So Forza, we're gonna give it to them. It's like an unimportant award or whatever. So Forza brought home an award for Xbox, but other than that, it was pretty non-existent for the Xbox company. And it's disappointing, but it's kind of, you saw it coming with the way that games were delayed for the year. It was kind of barren when it came for Xbox, but PUBG right now is a console exclusive, and it took home 2 awards. Cuphead brought home 2 awards, so it was represented in that aspect. How did you guys feel about Xbox and how it was represented in this game in the VGAs this year?
Well, I mean, it's called the Game Awards, and you got to have games to be in the awards. And the hype, and their 2 biggest hype games this year got awards. So, I mean, I guess in that aspect, it did pretty well. So, I mean, good on Xbox. Cuphead took indie and artwork and debut indie, and Forza got theirs. So, I mean, that was really kind of the 2 big games that they've kind of put out this year. So
I agree with Nick, man. But the only thing I didn't really like, I mean, Nick's right. You got to have games. I mean, it's called the Game Award for a reason. My only issue with the show was Jeff Keighley. You can so tell when that Forza award, you can tell he does not like Xbox. But like you said, he kind of said it under his breath. I don't like that guy. I think it's somebody like neutral or somebody that doesn't play video games just to host a damn show.
I mean, who could we get to host the awards?
Me.
Nick Fury. No, I don't know. I think he did okay, but I think we all have our bias, when it comes to, gaming and other things.
Well, you can have your bias, just don't make it so blatantly known on your face and in your body language.
They had anybody. You remember when they had Sam Jackson host the show? I liked it when he did it.
Yeah,
Sam Jackson, my man.
Yeah, that was good.
Wasn't it on Spike at one point?
Yeah, that was during Spike years. It was VGA 10. It was the one he hosted.
So were you guys hyped up about those PS VR titles coming out? Job Simulator? I mean, Vacation Simulator?
No.
That's just as exciting as Farming Simulator.
Whoa! Don't you put Farming Simulator?
I won't put that out there. Hell no.
That accounting game was weird. It was from the people that do the voicing in Rick and Morty. It was with all the cussing and it was weird, man. VR just doesn't translate over. to people that don't have the headset on, and it makes it even worse when the only thing I'm seeing on there is virtual fishing and Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
At E3, and then eating hot dogs. I don't know how many games have eating hot dogs as like a mainstay.
Eating hot dogs.
You know?
I can tell you,
true, dude.
I can tell you one thing,
gosh.
Salty. If you don't have a PSVR, you do not understand how much it will blow your mind the first time you actually step into the world. Once you actually try it for the first time, it's so fun.
Jago,
But
you don't get motion sickness easy, do you?
no, I've had no problems with none. Zero.
I do. I can't use VR. I'll throw up.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I get motion sickness pretty easily as well. But I tried some of these VR headsets out, and I don't know. I just, for gaming as it is, I just feel like it's never going to be, mainstream. When it comes to these main titles, just the way you move in VR, I'm not a big fan of it. You kind of like teleport forward. It's weird. So yeah, let's move on. Soul Calibur 6 was announced.
Yeah,
so that was. You guys hyped about that? I know a lot of people.
I am for real hyped about that.
Nick, let's hear your opinion on this, because I know a lot of people love this series. It was rumored before the VGAs that a 6th installment of a franchise was going to be coming out. We talked about this on the X Power podcast.
Yeah, we did.
Specifically because it was rumored, they said, I think it was Keeley. It was someone that said, hey, get ready for the VGAs. We're going to be, getting some information out on the 6th installment of a popular franchise. And people were talking about Halo 6, and they were talking about GTA 6, but
didn't we actually say Soul Calibur 6 on the Power podcast?
I think you guys did, because I
think we did.
Somebody said Soul Calibur 6.
Yep.
So Nick, you were kind of voicing your opinion here. Are you super? So let's hear how you feel about Soul Calibur and the 6th installment that's coming.
I don't play too many fighting games. I don't. But one game that I actually there was 3 fighting games growing up that I played a lot. Tekken. Yeah. I played Tekken a whole lot as a young kid. Soul Calibur, and then anything Dragon Ball Z, because I'm a nerd like that. So Soul Calibur, especially when Soul Calibur 2 came out, was like the ultimate game for me to play. I mean, I put so many hours into Soul Calibur, unlocking characters, trying to figure out combos. That was like the one fighting game that I actually went in depth in when I was younger. When 3 came out, I really went into it. And then by the time 4 and 5 came out, I wasn't really too interested. I didn't really like how they kept adding, I mean, I liked how in 2 they added like Link, and then they had Spawn, and then they had Heihachi on PlayStation. They kind of did that, but then it kind of got ridiculous when they added like Yoda and Darth Vader and Star Killer and things like that. And so I kind of fell away. I'm reading on this one, they're going to take the series back to its origins, and so they showed Mitsurugi and Sophia. So I really hope that they mean that by taking it back to its origins, because that's the Soul Calibur that I loved. So if this game is as advertised, I'm going to be super hyped on it.
Yeah. So I also started playing Soul Calibur back in the Dreamcast days. That's my first foray into this franchise, and I fell in love with it there. And then I moved on. I think it was the PS2 that had Soul Calibur 2 that I played, and then of course we had Soul Calibur 2 HD on the PS3. And Xbox 360 and so on. And I'm just waiting for, this game. It's one of those fighting games that it had a unique charm to it. Just the characters and everything, that there was such a variety of characters in this game that made it worthwhile. Yeah, I liked the game a lot. The graphics were always on point, and I thought what I saw on 6 at the VGAs actually looked really good.
Great, dude.
Especially with the Unreal Engine 4. I mean, I was thinking to myself, and I said this on Loot Chest again, I was like, why is this the same engine as Tekken 7, yet Tekken 7 looks like ass compared to this game?
Yeah, it did.
It's weird.
So I want to ask you guys, Fonz and Nick, like, what separates this game from, because I have to be honest, I've never played a Soul Calibur game in my life. So what separates this game from other fighters? Like, what makes it different? I want to hear from you guys.
each character and each one has their own lore and everything, and I just find them interesting. I find each character interesting in this game, and that is what sets it apart. Like, for the most part, when you play most of these fighting games, they have a variety of characters, but some of them there's not much background to them, or they're just ridiculously stupid. And in this game, I think that each one is fun and very playable.
Well, that's what drew me into Killer Instinct back in the day. It was the lore to each character, and they were unique. So that's why I kind of, gravitated to Killer Instinct back.
So, Jago, are you a fan of Soul Calibur? I didn't really hear if you were excited for it or not.
I played the first one, whatever one was on the Dreamcast. I think that was the first one. And then I played 2. I never really bought any but I rented them, from the mom and pop place. And it was pretty cool, because back then I was more of a Tekken guy. And the one that really kind of got me hooked, I know Nick's going to not like this, was Soul Calibur 4, because they had, Star Killer and Vader and Link or whatever one was for each platform. But, that's what kind of really drew me into it, because I knew it was getting more popular if they were adding in all those guest characters. And, and the way 4 looked, I was like, man, it looks really good compared to the previous iterations of it. I mean, it's not my favorite fighting game, but I'll probably pick it up because, I love fighting games.
What's all good, Jago? Me and Fonz will be the Soul Calibur purist over here, and you go ahead and you go ahead and
play your Vader and
your Vader and your Star Killer. Go ahead, man. I agree with Fonz though. The lore. I mean, this is going to sound really hypocritical. I don't remember hardly any of the lore, because it's been that long since I played it. I might need to go back and and play them again. But I do remember playing 2 and 3 and going through each individual story and learning that lore. And I mean, that's part of it, man. That's what, as a young kid, that's what really drew me to that game, was the lore and just the game modes and the story modes. And,
well, you can tell me, Nick, was it Maxie? Maxie, wasn't he a character in Soul Calibur?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember him being one of my favorite ones to play.
And I also like the look of each character as well.
Yeah,
like they have their own distinctive look, and I just found it was refreshing at the time when this fighting game came out, because most of them were pretty generic, or like I said, again, most of the characters were just forgettable.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have a fondness for it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's walking down memory lane for a lot of people. A lot of nostalgia.
It is.
So this is probably one of the biggest news stories to come out, from the VGAs, and I'm excited for everybody that is excited for it. I will definitely check it out, since I haven't played one of these games. Not big into fighters, and that's probably why I haven't ever played Soul Calibur, but
this would be the fighter for you to pick up, dude. For real, dude. I mean, it's dude. This game is a lot of fun. I like I said, I don't play a lot of fighters. I don't play a lot of Street Fighter. I mean, you played Mortal Kombat. Did you enjoy playing Mortal Kombat X? I mean, if you enjoy playing Mortal Kombat and Injustice, you'll enjoy playing Soul Calibur.
Yeah. See, the deal is I had Mortal Kombat, like it was like a floppy disk version on my dad's PC back in the day. So.
Well, I'll say this, since I've played a lot of fighters. I grew up with 2D fighters. One of the big reasons that I really didn't get into, I think it was Soul Calibur. I love Tekken, but the 3D fighters, the 3D motion. That's why I didn't like the Mortal Kombat 4, was the 3D motions where you could step side to side. You know what I'm saying? That took me out of it. Because I guess I grew up with the 2D fighters, so that's why I guess Soul Calibur wasn't one of my favorite fighting games, but it was still a good fighter.
Yeah, but I think that Soul Calibur, they did it really well. Them and Tekken, because I mean, I get what you're saying, because the whole 3D and scrolling side to side, but Soul Calibur, with the weapon combat and everything, it was just one. It's just one of the best fighting games.
They did do it well. I agree with you.
For me, there was only. Well, actually, there was 4 fighters that I have a fondness for. Of course, Street Fighter. Then you have Samurai Showdown, which I love.
Love Samurai Showdown.
And then, of course, Soul Calibur. And the other one, I can't remember.
Hadouken!
But anyway, those 3 for sure. There's another one out there that I can't think of right now.
Not Mortal Kombat?
No, I wasn't big
No?
into Mortal Kombat.
No?
I dabbled in it, but mostly Street Fighter, Samurai Showdown, and
Yeah.
Soul
Me too
Calibur.
back then. That was my
Yeah.
main one.
Yeah.
So, getting on the nostalgia track, Bayonetta 1 and 2 are headed into the Switch, and Bayonetta 3 has been revealed to be exclusively for the Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
So this was probably one of the news bombs. Like, when he announced this and he clicked his fingers, I mean, there's some swagger going about Nintendo at this point, and this news.
So we heard about them sales numbers.
I know.
Reggie's got no swag, bro. Reggie's
none, dude. None.
He's that
None,
dude
man.
with the big cheesy, smile on his face, and man,
I just love how Jeff Keighley tried to kick him off the stage because he was trying to get rid of him. It was like, no, I got another announcement. I was like, damn.
So is this gonna sway you guys towards getting a Switch if you haven't picked one up, or
the chat's gonna tell you no, hell no. That's the chat's gonna say no. What are you talking about?
I mean,
not for Bayonetta.
I mean,
I played Bayonetta.
You got that right, Punk. I'm all over that game. Yes, for sure.
I'm more of a Devil May Cry fan.
Yeah, see, Bayonetta is
gonna make some people happy. So
yeah, Devil May Cry is a lot like Bayonetta.
Yep, I agree.
And I didn't care for those type of games back in the day, so there's no nostalgia factor for me here, and I'm not looking forward to the third game.
I actually started on the first Devil May Cry on the PlayStation 2, so
I'm happy though. I'm happy for the people that are excited though, for sure.
Yeah,
like it's a great thing.
It's a good thing for Nintendo.
Yeah, it's great for Nintendo. I mean, I was kind of worried about the games that they're going to bring out after this whole.
Still should be worried.
Yeah. After Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, I felt like they're kind of blowing their load, and I was like, well, let's see what's going to happen, a couple years after that, because it takes time for them to develop more, these games again.
What are you talking about, man? They have Skyrim now. The game's only like 20 years
Yeah, but
old.
have you seen Skyrim on the Switch though? Honestly, like I've been on the Nintendo Switch hype train, but like Skyrim on the Switch doesn't look good. Sorry.
You know what though? It's a marvel that game is on the Switch though. On the go. You gotta give it props. You gotta give it props for that, as well as Doom. Doom being on the Switch I give it major props for that. Doom is an excellent game. If nobody's picked that up, you gotta play that game.
I agree.
True.
So props to Nintendo for, at least dropping a bomb there. I mean, it got people hyped. I saw on social media that there's some people that were on the fence with the Switch, and once this news came out, they're like, boom, I'm buying a Switch. So
hey, I've already ate my healthy bowl of crow when it comes to the Switch, because I naysayed this thing when it first came out. I was like, no,
dude, a lot of people naysayed it, dude.
Look, at the end of the day,
naysayed it.
They are making huge profits off this thing, and this thing doesn't seem like it's going to quit selling anytime soon. And they've got games coming out for it, both third party and first party. Kudos to Nintendo. I'm so happy for them. Like, it's not for me, but I'm happy for those that are excited. And
well, let's be honest. We've all been playing video games for years, and we've all seen Nintendo kind of fall off the bandwagon, And when the Switch sold as well as it did, we all knew that developers were going to go back to Nintendo and say, "Hey, man, can we put our game on your system?"
Well,
Nintendo's going to go, yeah.
The thing is it has so much writing against it. The memory situation, the chat situation, the online situation. There's so much garbage against this console, but it's selling like hotcakes. Why? Because Nintendo does no wrong when it comes to handhelds. Handhelds is their business. Nobody can touch them. That's why the Vita didn't succeed. That's why the Sega system didn't succeed. Their little handheld, the Game Gear.
Game Gear. It's like a Nomad. The Nomad
with the eight AA batteries you got to put in there.
Yeah, for 30 minutes.
So would I tell other companies, what I would advise for other companies if they want to come out with a handheld? I would tell them this. I'll say, get Nintendo to make it for you. Put that Nintendo seal of approval on it, and you will sell.
Yeah.
True.
So can we all just say that the Nintendo Switch is a handheld at this point? I mean,
I'll agree. The primary basis behind the Nintendo Switch is the fact that you can play it as a handheld and take it on the go, and then also hook it up to your TV. But for the most part, it is a handheld. But
if you ask most people, that's what they say they play it in, is in portable mode.
I mean, I played a bunch of stuff a lot. Like son, we were in a party. Me and Salty were in a party, and he was hearing weird noises, and he was like, "What are you watching, man?"
Dude, like, hey, let's just put this out there, okay? We're gaming. And I'm hearing a girl moan. I'm like, Nick, what are you watching?
What are you watching?
You know, like, what are you watching? What is this anime stuff? I'm like, he's like, I'm playing Breath of the Wild. I'm like, don't bullshit me, dude. I was like, what have they done to Breath of the Wild? They got moaning in there now. Come on.
Link's abusing his girlfriend.
But on the real though, like. I'm the only one. I mean, I'm going to be the only person here that's going to like hop up and down for Nintendo because, like I said, I made a video about it before, and we all grew up playing games, and I grew up with Nintendo for the most part until I was, 21 until I converted to Xbox. So I was on Nintendo for a long time, and so to see Nintendo come back and they came out with the Switch and see them doing well and see them actually having games and see them actually having support. It makes me happy. So, good on Nintendo. Bayonetta 3 is going to be fun, but I need to see what they're going to do in 2018. 2017 was great for them, but I am a little bit worried about 2018 because, like you said, Salty, it really feels like every game was coming out. Boom, boom, boom. Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild. All these games came out.
I'm not worried. They've got Nintendo has so many other franchises they can dip into, and I have a feeling that we're going to see more in 2018. You're going to see at least 2 really big games,
right? I mean,
Nintendo.
Yeah, there's a rumor that Metroid Prime 4 is coming. Another Star Fox is coming. There's those rumors, but we haven't heard anything yet. And like you said, they could always
don't forget Pokemon.
Yeah, and the new Pokemon that they're going to do the whole thing. And so, like I said, 2018 is going to be a big year for them. If they can actually keep it up, then they're for real. But if they sort of flop next year, then they may have issues. That's just what I'm predicting anyway.
So I'm not naysaying them anymore. I'm done with talking.
He already ate all his crow. He doesn't want to eat anymore.
Yeah, I'm pro Nintendo now.
I don't think you're going to find that many people that wish Nintendo ill will. We all think it's doing good. We're happy about it. It's good for gaming. Mm-hmm. But in reality,
I got to say something. Anybody who actually wishes death upon a company are just idiots, man.
Yeah,
Anybody out there saying that, because competition is great for everybody. You don't want to see any of these companies go down. You want to see all of them, just progress and make money.
The comparison that I always make in this situation, because when some of these fanboys come out, it's like, oh, PlayStation outsold the Xbox. It's like, let's compare it with Coke and Pepsi, right? Mm-hmm. Coke outsells Pepsi, but they're all making millions and millions of dollars. Do you think they're going to be like, oh, we got outsold again, we should just close up shop? No, they're just counting their money. They're counting their money.
Yeah.
So that's just the way it is. Competition's good for gaming in all areas. So yeah, that's just the way it is. So
actually Saul said that Fonz's comment on Discord Friday, if y'all remember, I was like, I may not be a huge Nintendo fan anymore. I said, but it's good for gaming. Competition, it's good for gaming. It spurs the gaming community to evolve and get better, and other companies as well.
True. And now Sony just came out saying that they now have to pay attention to the Switch.
Yep.
So now Sony's kind of, they're shook by Nintendo a little bit here, and they're saying we can't ignore Nintendo now and all this other junk. That just goes to prove that it's good.
So is that why Sony is giving us Medieval? Is that why?
Maybe, bro. Maybe. I saw that news and I chuckled to myself.
Good Lord.
But I don't know what Sony's going to do now.
So
I don't think they can try to do another handheld. I mean, I don't know what they're going to try.
I think they're out of the handheld game.
VR is what they're going to do. They need to do.
Yeah.
And VR is selling good. They sold like 2 million. So, but Sea of Thieves finally got a release date for the Xbox One, March 20th, 2018. This is Fonz's most anticipated title.
Woohoo!
He said it himself. Sea of Thieves finally has a release date. I'm excited for it. No, he hates it. Spoiler alert.
Oh man!
Come on, Fonz.
Here's the thing. It's a pirate game. I'm not into the whole pirate thing. I'm not.
I hear you.
I'm not into water-based games. You know, I love Assassin's Creed Origins, but I hate the boating parts, you know, where you have to actually fight in the ships and stuff. God, it's so boring. Being on the water just sucks in a video game. I don't.
So you're trying to say Fonz Waterworld back in the day with Kevin Costner wasn't a movie you were good?
That movie was bad anyway.
Here's the thing. I'm not interested in watching pirate themed movies either, but I'm just saying, in my games, like being on the water is just boring to me. Like, the only game I had fun on the water with was Wave Race back on the Nintendo back in the day.
Bro.
Wave Race
Bringing it back.
legit,
That was
dude.
amazing.
Bring that back on the Switch. I'll buy one today.
That was the only one on the water that I enjoyed. Everything else, though, I mean, Black Flag was garbage to me. Sea of Thieves just looks terrible.
You didn't have fun with Hydro Thunder back in the day?
No.
Oh man, go ahead.
Sea of Thieves is going to be the thing that's shocking me, honestly. I participated in the alpha, and I can't say much about it because there's a non-disclosure agreement. But I did not think the price was going to be 60, right? Like that.
I didn't either.
So that I looked it up and I'm like, is this a typo? I mean, so here's the deal. When you're playing an alpha, they don't give you access to all the content. Okay.
I gotta say this from what I've heard though. And I haven't heard it from you, Nate. I've heard this from other people, but I heard that this game basically plays, you need to have friends playing this game. You're not going to be playing by yourself. And it's basically just a bunch of little like mini events that pop up, or you fight other pirates for loot and find treasure, and that's it. There's no real story. There's no real campaign. It's just a bunch of different little adventures that happen on the fly. And if that's true for $60, that's not fucking worth it.
No, I'll pass.
So do we have a No Man's Sky?
No, I don't. I wouldn't go that far.
I called it before anybody started saying anything like that. I called it No Man's Waters when I first went on.
All right, so I don't know what I can and can't say, so I'm not going to say a lot. Okay,
right.
What I'm going to say is I did have fun with it. There is a way to play by yourself, but I do agree that you do need to have friends to have fun in this game. But the $60 price point, like I said, is a little shocking to me. So,
yeah, that kind of has me questionable. But it's a game to play with your friends, and if we do have fun, like if the beta comes out and we have hella fun with it, then I'll go ahead and drop some skill on it.
That's the thing. I'm gonna hold off my full thoughts on this. Like, don't get it wrong. I don't want to steer people away from this game because when I played it, I had lots of fun.
Right. Okay. I'll tell you this much: if PUBG had dropped at 60, would you say the same thing for PUBG?
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I think the price. I think the price point is high. It's high. Okay. So, I don't know if they're releasing it with this high price point and they're gonna immediately drop it and try to make it look like there's a huge sell going on and make it push more numbers. I have no idea, but like I said, that price point just sticks out to me like a sore thumb. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna say this, Salty. If you go back and look at interviews with interviewing the developers or whoever from the team of Sea of Thieves on the stage at the time, every one of them has always said you'll have more fun you'll have more fun in the game if you're playing with your friends. So they're kind of telling you need to have friends to play this game.
Yeah, and I can't say much, but you will not have fun if you go in with random people. Let's just put it that way. Okay.
That Sea of Thieves controller, though.
I mean, how many times? How many times can you walk the plank and get drunk and in this game?
A lot, Fonz.
Don't worry, Fonz. You'll get gifted this game, and we'll make you walk the plank. All right.
They'll just be fucking killing me every time, man.
Fonz is like, fuck it, I'm jumping off the ship.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with
the one good thing I could give this game though is the water does look incredible.
It does. My God, dude. Yeah, trust me. And I don't have an X when I played it. I can't imagine what's gonna look like on an X. So if you're a water enthusiast, get ready. I mean,
H.O.A.
The water will look super good. So I left kind of the weirdest news for last for the VGAs. So Death Stranding.
Oh my God,
man. Oh my God. Did you guys?
What kind of game is that?
Did you guys feel like you were taking acid before you watched this trailer, or what? I mean,
yes,
I don't do well with games like that, bro. I don't.
Yeah, it was weird.
What kind of
I
game
mean,
is that?
Punk,
Honestly,
Punk, what was your first thought process when you were seeing this trailer? I mean,
My first thought
what were you
process
thinking?
is, when am I going to see some freaking gameplay?
Yeah.
How many years are we looking at the same thing? I mean, the concept is cool. The guy has great ideas, but we know nothing about it. Now, I was listening to the Lucas podcast, and you guys are like, "Is it a card game?" No, just to make me laugh. Like, that's funny. What is it? Dude? What is it? And that's just gonna be the final thought for me. And until we see something, it's nothing to me.
It's true. I mean,
game looks
ahead,
weird. Dude. It started out in that new trailer, not gameplay, and it kind of had I want to say an alien vibe, just where they were at, and this creepy shit, way it looked, and then it turns into these footsteps, and I can't breathe, like don't breathe, and then this dude gets starts turning old. For what reason? He didn't really explain it. And then the one guy has a baby on his chest. I mean, and then Norman Reedus is in the water, and then he's got a baby in his throat. What kind of game is this, dude?
I know Throat Baby himself, Fonz, wants to.
Yeah, Fonz, Throat Baby. What's up, dude? What's your thoughts?
Throat Baby.
Well, people, there was so many things that were missed in this trailer, and that was brought to my attention, and I wish it wasn't. Okay, there's an actual scene of the big creature or whatever, and it's in the mist. You can barely see it, but let's just say it has a really huge third leg. I'll just leave.
Oh my god!
I'm thinking the same thing.
It's like that big blue thing from The Watchmen.
It looked pretty suspect, man. And the whole Throat Baby thing just weirded me out. And
the whole trailer was weird.
But here's the thing. It was intriguing, and it's got people talking about it. So that's where Kojima's brilliance lies, is the fact that you put something like this out there and people are going to talk about it, and people are going to buy this game based on intrigue and mystery alone.
I'll buy it.
But here's the thing. At the end of the day, like some of his games, mind you, some of his games you'll buy and you'll play, and at the end you'll still be like, what the fuck did I just play? Because that's how I felt with Metal Gear Solid 5. I don't understand that game. I still don't. Played it. And I don't get it. And that was one. And I say that Kojima is overrated because and I say that because I feel that some of his games don't make sense. Okay. And some people will say, well, I'm not smart enough to get it. And these same people that tell me that, I tell them, okay, explain Metal Gear 5 to me. And they shut up. They don't explain it to me because
I couldn't explain it to you.
They can't. And this whole Throat Baby thing, I guarantee you that none of this is ever explained, and we'll never know what the fuck is going on that they showed here. But there will be things like this in the game that will never be explained, and we'll just be tripping on it like, what the hell was that? But at the end of the day, I do understand some of his brilliance. I do understand that he is well recognized for a reason. He has brought a lot to the gaming experience, the whole cinematic thing and everything. I get it, and I do pay him respect for it. But he's just a little overrated to me. I don't think we should hold him up on a pedestal like he's the gaming god, like he's the best that's ever come into gaming. I hold Miyamoto higher than him as far as gaming.
True.
There's others, other developers that I hold much higher than him. I just think he's okay. He's good.
I think his younger years and his earlier Metal Gears were way better. Like Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty.
Yes,
man, that was one of the best ones, dude. One of the best ones. And I think just his name has carried him, but I think he's just turning old and eccentric now because these damn Death Stranding trailers don't make no sense. And I guarantee you, the Death Baby thing won't even be, or the Throat Baby thing won't even be in the finished game. How much you want to bet?
Yeah, and Zero Games is 100% right in the chat. He says he wants to be a movie director. That's what it seems to me.
Yeah, yep.
It's true. We got on that topic on Loot Chest Radio. Check it out. We got on that topic, and I feel like it's weird because a lot of people that are fans of his are saying he's moving gaming forward with this game. And I came back with, how is it moving gaming forward when we have no gameplay?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's,
I mean, because all you have to say is this, and I didn't mention this, and I totally forgot to say this last night, but did Metal Gear 5 move gaming forward?
No,
it didn't.
No. Matter of fact, it just stumped me, and I didn't know what the fuck I played. If anything, it hurt his franchise.
Metal Gear Solid 1 and Metal Gear 2 moved gaming forward way more than 5 ever did.
Oh, 100%.
So what happened with the Silent Hill game? Like, why did that get canned? And
yeah, somebody explained that to me.
I don't know. I'm a big Silent Hill fan, and I love those games, but this PT or whatever, the that little demo that they had and everything, I forgot.
That was good.
It was because it was the whole Kojima, Konami thing. That's why it got canned.
That's right.
It's true.
And the thing is that game looked like it had some promise. I was interested because, like I said, I like Silent Hill, but this game here, Death Stranding, looks like a complete just departure from that. This looks like an Aliens type vibe. This has a 2001 A Space Odyssey vibe. It has it's got so many like horror movies and sci-fi movies wrapped into one. And that's what intrigues me because I like those type of movies, but man, there's some weird ass shit going on.
Predator just brought up a good point in chat. He said, name one developer that left major known franchise and went on to make a great game solo. It's true. I mean, it's tough to do that. Like I said before, at what point? Okay, so cinematics are extremely important in modern gaming. They're trying to compete with the movie industry. It's not, they bring a lot of people from the movie industry to work on the games. Okay, so these cinematics are very important, but at the same time, gaming is gaming. We need to play games. We need to be a part of them. So the thing is I'm super happy for all those people that are super hyped up for Death Stranding. But at what point are we going to be able to get some gameplay? I mean,
that's what I wanted, man, with gameplay.
Maybe E3. Yeah, maybe.
So E3, I hope they bring some gameplay to E3 because at that point, it starts extending into a couple years where you're getting these trailers and no gameplay, and it kills the excitement,
I disagree. I think excitement's still high for games when they're shown year after year. Even Sony's proof of that. They do it every year. They show you the same shit.
So they can show the same game, but they need to show gameplay, Fonz.
No, I agree 100%. I agree.
Well,
I'm not dogging on their process and the way that they're doing their business, because Spider-Man, they showed some pre-rendered footage, and then God of War, but eventually they had to show some actual gameplay because if they don't show gameplay, it's kind of suspect.
Well, I think we're still a ways out for Death Stranding. I don't think that's coming out till at least 2019.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Maybe that's what I was going to say. When you're still seeing trailers for the game, and how many have we seen, and how many years has it been? That tells me the game's at least a year or more away.
So, I don't know. I'm a big horror fan I'm a big fan of the genre in cinema and in games. I just finished The Evil Within 1. I'm going to be playing the second one there.
I'm going to be playing the second one tomorrow.
Yeah, the genre gives the developers the ability to go into realms that aren't accessible in everyday life. If you play The Evil Within, at points you're just like, am I on acid? Because like literally it gets crazy. So I'm looking forward to the game. We'll see if we'll see what kind of game it is when it comes out. You guys still there?
Yeah. Right now,
I lost my.
Right now, if somebody asked me come up on the street and ask me like, "What is Death Stranding? What kind of game is that?" I'm like, I couldn't tell you. Go watch the trailer and you'll be just as stumped as I am.
All right. Yep. So let's go over the game winners real quick, and then I'm gonna get your guys' game of the year personally for the year. So game of the year was won by The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Woo!
And personally, that kind of was a little bit of a shock for me.
Yeah.
What did you guys see that coming or
no? I did not.
Called it. Yeah, I'm with Nick.
You did, Nick.
Nick did call it, and I was like, no, there's no way. You remember that in chat? I mean,
yeah, the Discord.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Fonz, that was a great game. Do you think Breath of the Wild is going to win Game of the Year?
Yeah, that's what I chose to win Game of the Year. Compared to everything else that was nominated, that seemed like the shoe-in.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn, again, I've said this plenty of times, 8 out of 10 for me. I thought it was a solid game, but it was not Game of the Year material, in my opinion. I think the story was a little weak. I know some people loved it. I didn't think it was that great. I thought it was just okay, middle of the road. Gameplay was excellent. That's why I gave it an 8.
So you guys find it weird that Horizon Zero Dawn didn't win any awards? It's kind of a shame. I mean,
not really,
Yeah.
not really. And I said this because I think that it being a new IP, just being nominated for Game of the Year alone is something huge for a new IP. Just to come
Sure.
along and get nominated, that was awesome.
Agreed.
But I think that they've just set themselves up for a sequel and many more. I think this is just going to become a big franchise for many people. So I'll buy the next one too. I mean, I had fun with it.
all right. Well, let's hear you guys' game of the year and why. So we'll start off with Punk. What's your game of the year?
Yeah,
and
man.
why?
Like I said, I'm with Nick. Breath of the Wild. I didn't pick up the Switch day one, obviously, because it was sold out, and I was on the fence like everybody else. But once I went to the GameStop and people were waiting in line, I mean, Zelda sold the Switch for me. It was that good. I brought it home. I mean, I sat on my couch hours on end. I was bringing it to work. I was working overnights at the time, so I'm bringing it to work on my breaks, like knocking out, collecting all this stuff. I had a blast with it, and this is definitely my game of the year.
That's cool. Nick, what's your game of the year and why?
Oh man, probably right now, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Just because of what Punk said, this game, I mean, it's one of those games where somebody could tell you how good it is and the exploration and all and everything about this game, but you have to play it to like really understand how good the game is, because it's just they kind of went all out and took a chance on this franchise to sort of make it more of exploration, and they focus more on the exploration with the shrines that you got to go to, the towers. It really gives you emphasis to actually explore each area of the entire world. And you can go fight the boss immediately, but you'll get messed up, and it gives you incentive to actually explore everything in order to get to your ultimate goal. And yeah, man. I mean, it's just it's that good. I mean, and that's really all I can. I mean, that's the best I can say about it. It's just
Phenomenal.
that good. It's phenomenal. And so for me personally, it probably is my game of the year. I'll have to wait. I was really hoping, and this is gonna sound pitiful, but I was really hoping Cuphead would have remained my game of the year. I was really excited on Cuphead, even though everybody says, "Oh, well, it's a platformer," or whatever. It's not that good of a game, but Cuphead was really phenomenal too. So it's really Breath of the Wild won, and then Cuphead's close behind it.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Jago, what's your game of the year?
Oh man, my game of the year. This is just based on games that I have and I've beaten. I can't say anything about Shadow War because I don't have it, or Forza, or Wolfenstein or whatever. But my game of the year, I thought was going to be Cuphead as well, but I have to go back to Resident Evil 7 because I had so much fun with that game. I actually liked the switch they made from third person to first person, and just the story, how good it was, and it was just a change up. Because 5 was okay, it was too action oriented. 6 was just weird, and 7, I think they knocked it out of the ballpark with everything they did in that game. I'm looking forward to 8. So 7 for me, bro. Resident Evil 7.
Awesome.
Cuphead's right behind it.
So, Fonz, what's your game of the year?
All right. I have to preface this by saying that I have not played certain key games that I want to play that came out this year. So this may change. Like, I still need to play Wolfenstein 2, and I've heard that's incredible. So for right now, honestly, for everything I've played, I look at games like Yakuza 0 had a great story, but the gameplay was generic. Then I played Assassin's Creed Origins, fun gameplay, generic story though, and probably Assassin's Creed at this point, I think, is probably the most fun I've had this year. But like I said, I have to play like Wolfenstein 2 and stuff, but right now I would say that. Or it could be ukulele. No, I'm just kidding.
Ukulele.
My game of the year is, man, I'd have to give it to Wolfenstein 2. I've kind of been back and forth with this, but my mind was literally blown when I was playing through that game, and I haven't really had a game that was that addictive. I mean, I was just that game, and my jaw was just dropped. So the storyline was awesome. It was very cinematic. The gameplay was awesome. The music was awesome. The campaign had a good length, but it wasn't too long. It was just a perfect game for me. So yeah, Wolfenstein 2. So if you haven't, checked it out, please do yourself a favor and go check it out.
Getting it for Christmas, brother.
Yes, sir. So that's going to do it for the VGAs. I mean, it was a great experience. I know it was kind of boring for some people, but I think overall they did a good job. I think the industry is moving in the right direction when it comes to these awards. I think it's just going to get better over time throughout the years. So I look forward to future VGAs. So anyway, the last topic of the night is going to be the PlayStation conference that followed the night after the VGAs. Overall, so this is going to be pretty short because there wasn't much news that came from this conference.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of the same trailers that were shown at VGAs were shown here too. So
the thing that I have to pose to you guys is, does Microsoft Microsoft had a bad Gamescom showing, and they kind of did the couch style presentation, and then PlayStation did their thing and they had the couch style presentation. Should we just get away, never have these couch style presentations in the future? I mean, it's 2 strikes out of 2 tries. It was extremely, I don't know. Let me hear from you guys. Like, what did you guys think
They
of?
need to keep things brief, man. Like, it's too long.
Yeah.
So you're talking about your game for 10 minutes or whatever or it's a game that probably people don't even care about.
Do you think that they were just kind of shoehorned into having this conference because they have it every year? Like,
probably.
You think they had
Me
enough
personally,
content
I didn't
to
even
show?
watch it, man.
Yeah. Fonz, like, what was your impressions overall about PSX?
Honestly, I was disappointed. Not because they didn't show any surprises. We kind of knew that going in because they said so. No keynote. I figured there wouldn't be any big reveal or anything. But I was just disappointed by the whole couch thing. Just sitting around talking about games. Gamers don't tune into these things to watch the developers talk about their games endlessly. We tune in to see game trailers and games. That's what we tune in for.
Mm-hmm.
We don't tune in for this. Let's talk to Andrew House and Mark Cerny for 20 minutes.
Right.
That was just weird, man. It was cringy, man. It was really an odd situation there. And then they brought out Kojima, and then they talked another 10 minutes, and it's like, dude, this is boring. Like, who wants to sit here and listen to this shit? I didn't. And then, like I said, they showed the same things again, like the whole 8-minute Death Stranding weirdness again. And it's like, okay, you've already shot your wad here at the VGAs with this stuff, so you've got nothing to show. This is just all for diehards that want to listen to their favorite developers and publishers, and that's not for me.
Yeah,
it's not for the casual audience, especially. So they're not going to want to tune into that.
Yeah, and they showed a lot of VR too, right? Sorry about that.
I think we'll all agree, no matter if they're standing or they're sitting, all we want to see is game trailers and stuff that's coming out in the future, like near future, not 5 years away.
There's a reason why we're so high for E3, and then as an E3 conference is over, we immediately turn it off because we don't want to watch people sitting on couches talking about everything.
Yeah, show me games. Don't show me somebody sitting there being boring, being interviewed on a couch. Show me games.
Like as soon as the Xbox conference is over, like we didn't stay and watch IGN sit on the couch and talk about it.
No.
Like we literally just turned it off and then went back to playing Xbox.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, I agree with you. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it at all. I kind of relied on Twitter and the Discord to sort of give me the info about that.
There was that one moment at the very end where I thought there was going to be some sort of reveal, and he had that shirt on, and then he opened it up. It said Sir Dan, and I'm just slapping my forehead. Really,
man? I feel like they just did the PSX just because they were all in one place after the VGAs, and they just figured, why the hell not? We might as well do it.
But the thing is, it's like, and I told Nate this too, Salty. I said, this is the Voodoo Vince moment. Like for Sony, it's just like Voodoo Vince remastered. It's who asked for Medieval, who asked for Voodoo Vince? Nobody. That's the answer. Nobody.
Yep.
So overall, it just was pretty lackluster, and I think you could say that from both sides, all sides. I mean, PlayStation fans, Xbox fans, and gamers in general just found this conference lackluster. And I think it was very comparable to the Gamescom showing for Xbox.
I agree.
And I think at sometimes these companies just shoehorn themselves and book these conferences ahead of time, and they have to have a conference no matter what, even if they don't have the content to bring to the fans. And this PSX is for the fans. You know, we had All Day Digital. He was there participating in it, and he was saying how fun it is. And I don't doubt what he's saying.
By the way, I got a message.
It's for the fan. You know,
this is a breaking thing. I got a message from him. He played Detroit Become Human. And he said that first of all, he said it was fire. Then I asked him, well, how does it play? And he said it's basically QTEs. So
see,
if you're not into QTEs, you may not like Detroit.
All right. So here's my thing about Detroit Become Human. When I saw this game, I was not hyped. Okay. At all. Like it didn't it didn't pull any kind of excitement strings on me. And now that this news is coming out that that's the type of game it is, it's a no buy for me. It's a no go for me.
That's a rent for me.
Yeah. So I know there's a lot of people out there that do enjoy those type of games. But that was actually something I was going to bring up because Detroit Become Human, the gameplay was kind of shown off and people were like, well, this kind of seems like a Telltale game.
It kind of makes sense when you look at how great the game looks.
Yeah.
That, QTE was written all over it.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess to each his own. When it comes to video games, we all have our preferences. I'm super excited about Spider-Man and God of War. Is that so? The rumored date for God of War is a couple days after Sea of Thieves. Is that official? Because I didn't hear anything from PSX.
It's not official.
And then God of War isn't playable at PSX, so it's kind of got me skeptical. If it's
there was a special behind the scenes thing where you can watch gameplay of it, but it wasn't playable. Like they watched it, and like All Day was saying, it looked phenomenal.
So
that this game looks great.
Fonz, wouldn't you say that it probably isn't coming out in March if people aren't playing it at PSX or?
I don't know because I don't know the timeline there, but so far, I mean, what we've heard from PSX, the developer said that this game isn't in the final phase of production, and it's like they're just ironing out all the kinks and sort of just polishing it and stuff. And so it tells me that, and plus this game's supposed to be like 30 hours long, which is pretty good for a God of War game.
That's damn long for God of War.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would say that the jury's still out. I would say don't hold your breath, though.
I say June.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see. And I guess for Sea of Thieves, they can kind of breathe a sigh of relief if it's not coming out that time, So, yeah, I mean, do you guys have any more comments on PSX? I mean, it was just kind of lackluster and not too much to talk about. I feel like I touched upon pretty much all the highlights. Fonz, did I miss anything?
No.
It was just a bunch of Sony dudes getting together, hyping each other up pretty much on a couch.
Okay, so I guess that's going to conclude the podcast, but we're going to do our outros and then we're going to do the giveaway. I'm going to be doing the draw. I have to use tweet draw right here, so I'm going to do that while you guys do your outros. So let's start off with Punk. Where can people find you? Thanks for coming on, bro.
Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate the invite. Pretty much, man, trying to stay active on Twitter, trying to build up my peeps, I guess you could say.
Yes,
again, Irrelevant Native and I are still giving away those 2 months of Game Pass. There's like 3 days for that. So anyone definitely find that link and retweet. So that's a pretty sweet giveaway, 2 months.
Put the link in the chat.
Besides that, man, not too much going on.
The link.
Yeah, I need to do that.
We're going to get better about these links and stuff like that. I've made people mods in the chat, and I appreciate everybody that stops by every week. I give the mods out, and I appreciate all of you guys. So, yeah, we'll be putting links to our social medias and other things. So, Jago, where can we find you, my friend?
Same place as always, brother. Xbox Live and Twitter, Jago Kukin.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate your devotion and everything else, your friendship that we've formed here. You're very reliable, and reliability, if I can say it, is something that is very appreciated in this day and age. So again,
I always
thank you.
try to be, man. I always try to be, man. Like I said, unless I'm dying, I'll be here.
All right, Nick Fury, I saw you linking some of your stuff in the chat. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Nick Fury, how it's spelled in my picture. I'm also put the link to my YouTube channel in the chat, youtube.com/Nick Fury. And other than that, man, just getting ready for the holidays, getting ready to I have an extra office space room that me and my wife use right now. We use it for my kids' toys, but I am now moving those toys out of there, and that's about to be Dad's office, and it's about to be, you know, all my stuff's going to be in there, my computer, my Xbox, everything, and I'm actually going to have a room specifically for, you know, recording gameplay and streaming and things like that.
That's not an office, Nick. That's not an office. That's a game room.
Oh, either way. No. It's Daddy's office. That's what the kids are going to know it as. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what I'm in the works of doing. And so that won't happen, you know, probably about till 3 months from now, but working on it right now. And, you know, other than that, looking forward to the holidays, looking forward to having some days off work. I get about 11 days off, so that'll be fun. And, yeah, man, just doing this YouTube thing, talking about gaming, grinding hard, trying to hustle, and like you mentioned before, everybody on this podcast, and everybody in the chat, like, thanks for stopping by, and thanks for, you know, continually stopping by, and it's been great meeting everybody. I started, you know, this YouTube thing, and like maybe 3 months after you did Salty, and meeting everybody. Meeting Fonz, meeting Jago, meeting Punk Kiddish, Irrelevant Native, Corpse, even Dealer, all those people, like meeting everybody. It's just been it's been different, fun. Been new. It's been fun, and it's just been great. The community's just great. That's really all I can say. And it's been great getting to know everybody. And like Saltiest said, the reliability is great. It's great to know that I can come every Sunday and talk to everybody.
You know, Nick, now you're becoming like the sober Joseph Ferris, bro. We don't have so much time. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa. Okay, hold on.
He's like,
fuck the Oscars.
Yeah.
So Jay Fonzarelli, where can they find you?
Yeah. I like how you said Fraudarelli and stop.
I thought I heard that.
So you can find me on YouTube and Twitter at Jay Fonzarelli, my personal stuff, or you can find all of us at Loot Chest Radio.
Loot Chest Radio.
We're everywhere. iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, everywhere. Check out the new podcast. I'm really proud of it. Really like what's going on.
It's a good show, guys.
Check it out.
Every time you say Loot Chest Radio, I'm gonna echo you with like singing it. Loot Chest Radio, something like that.
Right.
Yeah, sorry about my mic quality on the last episode. I didn't know I had to click a button to put my new mic on there, so sorry.
But your voice sounds extra smooth today.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to listen to that. Are you guys ready for this giveaway?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Get ready.
Who's getting it?
Drum roll.
Nick Fury? Okay, cool. I'll take it.
Girls Can Game 22.
Here we go.
You are the first winner.
Girls Can Game 22.
Nice. Girls Can Game, if I could talk, is Snaps. It's Mel. She is an awesome person in the community. She's not here right now, but congratulations. Awesome. Drum roll for the next giveaway. It's Lex Hazard 79.
Boom! Good shit, Lex. Good
that's
shit,
my
Lex.
man right there, dude. Lex. I don't see him in the chat, but
so congratulations to all the winners. We do appreciate you. I guess this is my time for the outro. Saltiest Gaming. I've been doing this since June. I've been salty my whole life, though, so
real talk.
That's not a new thing. I appreciate everybody on the panel. You guys are truly friends, and I love talking games with you. We do this podcast every Sunday night, and that was because of my wife's birthday. So we keep it consistent. we keep it fun. We talk about gaming. And we're passionate about it.
Yes, sir.
I do videos on the daily. I try to. It hasn't been consistent because the news has been kind of dry. I don't push out videos that I don't believe in, so you can count on that. So I do news videos on Xbox, but we're going to be doing game reviews and some walkthroughs and stuff like that. Loot Chest Radio, there's another plug for it. You guys should check that out on Loot Chest Radio, the YouTube page, or you can check it out on iTunes. It's pre-recorded videos, so there's not going to be botting. We're going to have some funny clips put in there, some sound bites, and some other things that you can't do on a live show, so you should definitely go check that out. But I do appreciate you guys. I can't say it enough. I'm thankful for you guys stopping by. This is truly a passion of ours and a dream come true to be able to talk about this.
Yes, sir.
Meet people in the community. So for us in episode 16 of the Saltiest podcast, and as always, stay salty, my friends.
Yes, sir.
Later, guys.
Later.